Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to be part of KSG family. You all are gathered here. It means you have a dream in your eyes that you want to become the civil servant of the country. Now, every year, around 1 million aspirants have the same dream. But you know that only about half of them are actually passing the first stage or reaching to the center of the prelims examination. And do you know what is the result of that? About 0.1% is the actual result for the UPSC Civil Services Examination. Okay. This is an examination which is known for its tough nature, and at the same time the job is so much prestigious that millions of people are dreaming about it. Okay. You all are gathered here. It means you want to know that how you can start the civil services preparation, and for that today Dr. Khan, also known as Khan sir, would be taking this session and he would be sharing his wisdom with you that how we can start preparing for the civil services examination. In this session, we will discuss that what are the basic things which you need, what sources you have to refer, the importance of the NCRTs, how we can cover the current affairs and all other related things. Okay. At the end of this session, we will also share a 2100 question booklet of NCRT for your practice, and at the same time, you will also get an attractive offer since KSG is completing its 15 years. Okay. Now, if we talk about KSG, then over the last 7 years, more than 3,000 aspirants have realized their dream of becoming a civil servant since they have been helped by KSG. Okay. At the same time, if we talk about 2018, we have seen that the top 10 successful candidates were from KSG. But before we go into that, there is one question for you, and after Khan sir would be taking the session, after that I will still ask you this question, that when you are deciding to become a civil servant, what is your inspiration? Why do you want to become a civil servant? What is your goal in that? Do you want to serve the nation? Do you want to bring reform in a particular area? What do you want to do? And just a brief story, I would share about two very prominent civil servants of the country. One is, of course, Kiran Bedi. She is one who has been nominated, who have been appointed by the United Nations as Civilian Police Advisor, okay, in 2003. She has been known for bringing prison reforms in India. Now you know that generally police and public relations are not very good in various countries, but then you can see that the bureaucrat of India, the civil servant of India, has set a benchmark for it. Okay. She has been appointed as the Civil Services Police Civil Advisor by the United Nations. On the other hand, we have again a personality in the Ajit Doval. Okay. You know that he is the National Security Advisor, but at the same time, do you know that he has been responsible for rescuing 46 nurses from Iran? You might be very well aware that he was instrumental in planning the Balakot strike or surgical strike, but at the same time, his work in diplomacy, his work in national security has been remarkable. Okay. So they have got their inspiration. They have their inspiration. Someone wanted to bring reforms in the prison. Someone wanted to do certain things for the country. Some are working in the education field. So what is your inspiration? And I will come to this question again in the end of the session, that why I have asked you this question. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Khan for taking this session forward. He has been author to various books, and his help, his wisdom has helped a number of civil services aspirants to realize their dream to clear this examination. He has been a master of the art of answer writing, and his valuable suggestions have helped a number of students during their mock interviews. Okay. In case of answer writing, he is known in the entire country for his innovative skills and tools. Okay. So without taking any further time, I would like to invite Khan sir for taking this session forward and sharing his wisdom with you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Kanshuk. Thank you very much. And I would like to take you through this session further and then let you know about, for those people who are deciding to take this examination now, as to what in store that they have got and how to really go about it. But before I actually take you into those nuances of it, I would like again to go back to Mr. Kinshuk's observation that you should be very clear before you know as to how you should be preparing, what you should be preparing. You should be very clear as to why you are preparing. The figure that he gave looks very difficult and undoable. Still, you have got every year so many people clear it. This figure is in several hundreds, and then those who do it are not the ones who is somebody who is from a different planet, somebody who always had top ranks in their school and the colleges, somebody who is determined enough. That's a person who want to really achieve in life and has some very clear why. If you have a very clear why, I'm sure you are in the right lane. Let me tell you about this examination. Some of the themes where I think I should be speaking to you and explain things to you is that how to start preparation. I suppose the first thing is that you should be very clear about why you are preparing for this examination. If you're very clear about why you're preparing for this examination, the job is very clear. After that, I like you to do one exercise. You should know the destination where you are actually going. You know the destination where you're going, which means that you should understand the syllabus and the nuances of it. Try spending a few days understanding as to what are the various syllabus that you have got. In fact, for those of you who may not be aware of this examination is conducted at 3 levels. Preliminary level, where you got a multiple choice questions. The mains level, that you got essay type questions are asked. That's the real level where you have got the real examination is held, where you have got one optional, one general studies compulsory paper and one essay compulsory paper. Of course, there's a language paper which is qualifying in nature. But 500 marks that you have got for your optional paper, 1000 marks for your general studies, which have got 4 papers, 250 marks each. So very obviously, twice the importance is given to general studies over the optional. Similarly, in preliminary examination also it is general studies. Then you go to the next paper, that is essay paper. Essay topics are also general studies topics. I'll tell you the reason why I'm saying like that. General studies is again coming as an important area in your essay writing also. You don't get the topics that you have been writing essays in your school days. The topics which they're asking now is very different. The topics which are the same topics that you have got, you studied as part of your general studies, which means economic topics, ethical topics, technological topics, environmental topics, social topics. These kind of topics which you normally study as part of general studies is asked as an essay paper. Then you clear that examination, 250 marks that you have got for essay paper. So 500 plus 1000. Then you have got 250, 1750, 1750 marks that you have got in main examination. Then you go to the interview level. And interview level also the kind of questions which are being asked is again very much of the nature of general studies. They ask you ethical questions, economic questions, international relations questions, current affair questions, environmental questions, technological questions, historical questions, cultural questions. These all facets which are very much part of the general studies itself. What I'm trying to tell you is that this examination of 275 marks in interview and then 1750 marks of your mains. Of the total marks of 2025, if I just take out the 500 marks of optional, it's all about general studies. So it is very important for you to understand this examination is an examination which is heavily favored to general studies, which gives us one clear advantage that nobody is ahead of you in this general studies preparation. When I say nobody, I actually mean nobody. Because nobody studies BTech in general studies or MSc in general studies or for that matter MPhil in general studies or PhD in general studies. Nobody has studied general studies like that. So you have a clear choice to write your career afresh from today onward if you decide to do that. And this is where we have got even engineers, the people from law background, history background, economics background, medicine background, technology background, any background, they can write this examination. So how you are evolving in that is important. So for preparation, as I told you, coming back to the previous statement, first you have to be very clear as to why you're writing this examination. Then you see that what is in store for you. So this is the kind of a story for you is general studies, for which there is nobody ahead of you in general studies. And I can promise you one thing, if it is general studies, we can deliver. Because we have been doing it on a regular basis. KSG has regularly been performing one of the highest marks in the country in general studies from the classroom students. So that is where we come into picture. So after you have understood the nuances of the syllabus after spending a few days, I like it. The next thing that you should do is that you should look at the previous year's question. Establish connect between the two. That in the syllabus, if they say this, they ask this kind of questions. If they say this kind of question. If they say this kind of questions. Your mind is very clear now that where you are going, of course, why you are going, and then after that, what is the demand of the destination. Once you're very sorted on these fronts, now you've got clear-cut two options. One option is that you can prepare on your own. You all know that you are living in an era of ChatGPT. Google is a passe, it looks. Some people say that. You can possibly go on collecting information on all the things that you have learned that you require for this examination. Or the second approach is that you go to an expert and then probably ask these people as to how to really go about it. In both the cases, information can be passed on. But trust me, it's not the information where the job ends. After some time, all of you almost have similar knowledge, similar information. But what you're doing with the information is very vital. And that's something which I would like to underline here, is the skill part of it. A skill is something which is very much neglected as part of the preparation that you have got. Skill to use the information. If I may say that New Delhi is capital of India. I mean, everybody knows that already. But if I ask you a question, what is your opinion of New Delhi being the capital of India? I'm sure all of you write different passage. And all of you definitely are deserving different marks. So that skill part that you require to actually hone, with the passage of time, there comes some expertise that we require. A lot of time we don't even understand the demand of the question. Because in this question, I asked, what is your opinion? I mean, asking about your opinion. I'm not asking about Delhi. So this is a very small thing, but then on the surface it looks so simple, a straight question. So it is very important that we should not forget about the skill component that is required in this examination. So when you're preparing on your own, please do allocate some time for skilling of it. Because information, after all, everybody gets the same information. But since the nature of examination is such, it's so nuanced and so wide and spread, that nobody is becoming expert of everything. In fact, you may be knowing, and can be shocker to some of you who are not very clear about it, is that about 52% you require to top the country. Insulting, isn't it? It is insulting, but nevertheless, this is the best the country has got. Because the kind of areas that they are actually asking a question from is nuanced. It is very important that you know somebody to hold your finger to take you there. But remember, ultimately it is you who will be delivering, nobody else. Somebody can guide you if you're moving. If you make a wrong turn, a GPS can tell you how to correct your movement. But then if you're not moving, nobody can make you an IAS officer. Not even Dr. Khan or the entire team of KSG. You have to be practicing. You have to be working hard. And that's one thing which is possible. It may be difficult, as Mr. Kinshuk was talking about it, but I promise it's worth the pain. This is the best gift that you could give to yourself in this age. The 3 letters after your name. Imagine how beautiful it looks after that. And if you have those 3 letters after your name, IAS or IPS or IRS, whatever you want to really put it there, that will make a whole lot of difference, not only in you, but the people around you. But till then, I would expect that you are not expecting from anybody else but for yourself. Because a lot of time we kind of expect the situations to become right, the situations to become conducive, situations is in such state where things are moving automatically. There's never an ideal situation. But also, let's not forget one thing. There's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. I think you know about Hugo. He said that long time ago. If an idea which is born in your mind, don't look at watch, do not look at date. For writing this examination, you have a date. But for starting, there's no such fixed date. You can start any day you want. But only thing is that, please remember that you have to peak at the right time. starting early has got a lot of advantages. And definitely that's something which is we strongly recommend. Because a lot of time, the knowledge, information can be acquired in a quick time, but then it takes a while for the skill to settle in. So for that reason, I would basically be talking about that: start early and stay in the right lane. Take help of the people who are around you, who can guide you, and then keep moving, but keep the charge in your own hands. I think it is definitely possible. Now, one thing which a lot of people ask me, and I like to ask some questions based on that only, that is, what is the nature of the examination and what people have to study? In fact, the nature of examination, as I told you, that it is heavily centered in favor of general studies, which means everybody has a fair chance. And it's not important that how well you have been in your past. In fact, I must tell you, you're not known for from where you're coming. You're known for where you're going. And in that direction, how you have moved today. This in general studies looks very, very vague, nuanced. But then if you approach it systematically, there's a pattern in general studies. And we would be very happy to guide you through the pattern of the general studies. This is one thing that we have done it over the years, decades, shall we say. In fact, the 30 years that I have spent doing general studies gives me some insight, which I'll be very happy to share with you on the personal note. And if you've got any query, you can always reach me as well. We have got for the nature of examination, as I mentioned to you, it is like preliminary examination is multiple choice question, and the remaining examination is essay type. And then after that, you have got the interview is actually conducted only in Delhi, while the other exams are conducted across the country. And there is a question quite often asked that how to decide about optional. That's a very common thing. I told you that in main examination, you got one optional paper, 500 marks. A lot of time, people are confused as to how to decide about the optional. My advice to you would be, standard advice is that please do not take anybody's advice. Decide on your own. It's not that people are wrong, they'll give wrong advice. No, certainly not. People have their own experiences. Somebody has got good marks in optional, we'll recommend take it. Somebody did not get good marks in the same optional, would say never take it. So you must see that, do I like this? If you like something, I promise that you will be doing it well. So liking is an important factor based on which you can make a decision about choosing your optional. Second thing that you should keep in mind is that if I take this optional, would that help me in my general studies as well? The answer is yes. That makes a lot of sense. Because if you take geography, you take sociology, or essay paper, you take political science, international relations, anthropology. These are the topics which are repeatedly being asked in essay. Also, they have got a good overlap in general studies. Third factor you can keep in mind is that, have I read this before? But if you have read some optional, it's not there in the syllabus. Well, I mean, you can, in that case, can skip. But otherwise, if you read something and you really like it, there's enough reason that point number 1 and point number 3 converge and you should take it. Then the fourth thing that you can take is that the support material that you have got. If you take an optional and if you get lots of guidance, support, and the popular optionals are popular, and since they're popular, there's a lot of guidance available, a lot of material available. That could also be a factor for deciding. One more factor, a lot of people say that there are trend going on. So instead of knowing why the trend is there, why the river is flowing in a particular direction, you also jump in the same river and flow in that direction. But for me, of all these 5 parameters that I mentioned to you, the foremost would always remain your liking. If you like something, you'll always do better. And that is what I think I would like to recommend. About another thing which I like to mention about the questions being asked here is that how to manage time. Well, of course, I mean, I would like to tell you that you should know that time is not something which is given less or more to everybody. It's the same time. So how you actually use the time is what we effectively talk about time management. In fact, if you ask me personally, time management is all about task management. It's not time, task. Task has to be managed. And task management, there's so much of tasks to do, it's not easy to manage all the tasks. It's all about priority management. So time management is actually task management, and task management is actually priority management. Like you put the task in front of you like that, and you go on picking one by one, you'll be always confused. But you put a task like this, one over other, so whatever the top one, the one that's got high priority, always get done. And that's something which I would like to recommend. So in that case, you should be picking up the one that is high on priority. If you have decided to go for this examination is a top priority. So whatever you're doing has basically been woven around this examination. Like you have your friends, the friends are also from this area. You are basically sleeping so that you get up fresh to write an answer. You probably are doing some task. You're chatting to a friend because you promised that I would chat with my friend if I learn this topic. Whatever. You let your everything converge to a common point, and if you know that the power of synergy, if you have the sun rays converging to a common point, a spark happens. And that's what precisely is important. So what I was trying to tell you is that time management is task management is priority management. Then I'm going to share with you a very unique secret. The secret is shift your focus from work to time. Normally, whenever we have focus on our task, we give respect to task so much. Quite often we say work is worship. And then we just ignore the most important ingredient, that is time. So if you have got focus on the work and time you're ignoring, what happens? Your mind doesn't learn the efficiency. So whenever you have allocated time to a particular task and the time finishes, even if the work is done 30%, stop it there. Because if you stop it there, your mind would learn that this gentleman, this lady is not giving me extra time. So the similar task you give next day, it gives you 31% performance. I hope you understand that. 1% addition in one day is amazing. So always respect the time, and then within that time you should try and performing the thing. Even if it is happening less, don't worry about it. Whatever happens, that happens, and that's all I would like to tell you. So this time management is task management. Task management is priority management. Priority management is basically efficiency management. So if you manage your efficiency, I suppose there's nobody who can touch you in that, because the same 24 hours has made everybody, from Abraham Lincoln to Mahatma Gandhi to Einstein to whomsoever you name it, everybody got the same time. So don't worry about the time management. Time will manage itself. You manage your efficiency, and I'm sure you'll be able to effectively use it. Then how to effectively manage different segments. See, as I told you that in the beginning itself, that you have to look into the syllabus and the kind of questions. So there is an important thing that we need to understand. You cannot master every segment of the general studies. Nobody does. It's not required also. So when you're looking at the previous question, your mind would know that, hey, I've been getting a lot of questions from here. And that is why I like you to spend time with the previous question, so that your mind understands that, hey, I've seen so many questions from here. Let me focus a little more. And that way, different segments are managed like that. But then, one very interesting part about general studies is that you cannot learn them in silos. They're all interconnected, and that's extremely, extremely important. And I would like you to tell you one thing, that when you are managing your time and the segments, try developing the interfaces. Because one topic about women, that can be a topic which have some components of, shall we say, paper 1, where social issues are there. It can be paper 2, maybe some administrative issues are there. It can be from paper 3, maybe some hazard dimensions can be added, and it can be also ethical dimensions, paper 4. So the questions are a lot of interfaced topics. So that is something as a skill. We would like to explain that to you in detail through the courses that we conduct. However, when you're doing it on your own, I like you to be sensitive about that. The UPSC does not say that I'm asking question only on this. They are very neutral and very secular in terms of mixing the different segments of the syllabus, and you should be able to appreciate that. And that is what I would like to underline here. And with respect to the sources, of course, the sources lists are, countless sources that you have got, this never-ending source that you have got. So my suggestion to you about the sources would be, please keep the sources limited to the extent that you can handle them in terms of not only reading, but also retaining, and for retaining revision, and for revision memorization. So to be able to retain, revise, memorize, you should be having limited sources. And that is where the coaching institutes like ours, KSG, come very helpful. We'll tell you as to not only what to study, but most importantly, we tell you what not to study. Because a lot of students, instead of becoming a district collector, they become a material collector. They go on collecting information so much that they are ultimately imploding under their own load of material that they have collected in the process. So I like you to be a little more restraintful. you know the sources from where you need to be picking up information, and then we have got our mentors will be very happy to guide you personally, because the same advices cannot be given to everybody. And to you also, one person cannot be at different time given the same advices. So we contextualize, and then we are known in the country for hand-holding. We are known in the country for skilling, because skill is also very, very individual. Because two of you write 10 marks question, both of you get 4 marks, and both of you are interested in 6 marks. For same 2 marks, I can't give the same advice. Because all very individual you are. And then we work very hard on individual curation. And then we try to ensure that we have got some more names coming from KSG who are the toppers of the country in general studies. And that's like we have, I can say that I'm confident about my matured methodology, because time and again we have been getting people from this area. Also, school books, NCERTs are very, very important, and Mr. Kinshuk will take you through this in particular and tell you as to how this NCERTs can be used. But remember one thing, this NCERT book was not written for you. So you can't imagine that you can possibly do this NCERT and you think that you are prepared for general studies. This is a very good place to start. It gives you the foundation on which the edifice of your general studies preparation is there. So that's the neve, that's the foundation on which the edifice of your general studies is resting. So Mr. Kinshuk would definitely get you deeper into that, and I'll be very happy that if you have got queries, you can always shoot to Mr. Kinshuk, or if there is anything in personal, you can always reach us on our website. You can reach me personally also. I'll be very happy to guide you on personal note about the queries that you may be having. However, at this stage, I just was aiming at, if I can revise it remind you quickly, that we have learned as to what is the nature of the examination, how it is conducted, at what levels that we have got. What is the flavor of this examination? For somebody who is starting now would know that, hey, it is general studies based examination. So if it is general studies based, which goes without saying, there's nobody's ahead or I'm not behind anybody else. So if you can start my preparation from now onward, and you can start your preparation any day. Writing this examination has got 21 years of age, but for starting you can start any day. And then I also talked about that how to really decide about the sources. But one thing I would like to once again underline, it is not the information. Your mobile today has got enough information that you can ever handle. But it is the skill which is the differentiator. So please focus on learning the skill of expression, because that's going to ultimately have a deciding factor on that. And also with respect to time management, please maintain and then improve on the efficiency of your mind. And if your mind is more efficient, there's no way that you should be worried about it. And this efficiency would basically compensate for the missing links that you have had in your preparation. Also, the sources, as I just mentioned to you, newspapers are also a very important source. I'd like you to spend time on that. I'll request Mr. Kinshuk in particular to talk about the NCERT and the newspapers and their utility in your examination that you have got. However, it was a lovely afternoon for me to engage you, talk to you, and then we are around to be part of your dream. It's a privilege that I enjoy, and I meet the best minds of the country. If you're one of those people who's willing to work hard, willing to contribute to this developed nation, yes, developed nation. I said intentionally because in your working career, this country is going to become developed from developing country. If you want to have a stake in that developed nation, I think you can't ask for a better responsibility than these 3 letters that this job gives you. My best wishes are with you. Over to Mr. Kinshuk.
It was a very much delight to hear to the wisdom of Kansa, and I would take this section further. Many questions are there, like one of the main thing, like sir was telling, that NCERTs are one of the foundation of your preparation. Okay, NCERT is like something which is leading, which is like you can say that it is the foundation stone for your entire preparation. And if you are confident about NCERTs, then you can definitely score good marks in prelims, and at the same time writing the mains examination becomes quite easy. But do you know that? Do you know this simple thing? NCERTs, like sir was telling us, like NCERTs are not made for you. NCERTs, like generally it is said that you have to read the NCERTs of class 6 to 12th. But then you know that if you go through the class even 9th NCERT, you will find that there are so many things, so many stories given which are very much interesting. But at the same time, from the UPSC point of view, they might not be that much useful. Okay. So then the question is how we can actually go about it. Okay. At KSG, we have like various tools for it. Like we have also got one NEEV course, that is NCERTs for Effective and Early Victory. And this is one such particular course in which we take the thematic coverage of the NCERTs. Similarly, in our foundation course, we have got a crux of the NCERTs in form of school book read up SBR. Okay. So these are some of the sources which can directly help you to get ready with your preparation to finish the NCERTs in a designated time frame. Okay. And that is what you can do with the NCERTs. You cannot spend time on reading 20 different books of the NCERTs starting from class 6 to class 10th, and then again you will find 10 more books are also there in class 11th and 12th. Okay. So instead of going through multiple such NCERTs, you can have a crux of it, like we have our SVR, or like in the NEEV course, we do it in a thematic manner. So identifying the theme of the NCERTs and preparing according to that is the key of doing the things in a designated time. Okay. Then, like you can connect this. Sir was also talking about the efficiency, prioritizing the task management. This is what you can connect it with. If you go on finishing the NCERTs like one by one, it will take a lot of time. But then doing it at one time in a thematic manner is the key to it. Okay. Then there is one simple question many a times. It is about the current affairs. Okay. Now, if you look at, first off, let us understand that what is the relevance of this current affairs for UPSC examination. When we are talking about prelims examination, you will find that nearly 30% of the questions are coming from the current affairs section. Either it is entirely based on the current affairs or somewhat related to it. A mix of static and dynamic portion is what UPSC is always doing. Okay. So this current affairs has got some weightage in the prelims. When we talk about the mains examination, like Dr. Khan was talking about GS papers. GS papers are again, and even if you include the essay and GS paper, they are like deciding what rank you would get. Okay. And you will have to understand here, in GS paper 2 and GS paper 3, it is more of dynamic in nature. It means around 80 to 90% questions are based on current themes. Okay. So current affairs are relevant. Now the question is how we can cover it. What should be the source of it? How we can go around this current affair, how we can cover it. And especially if you are a beginner, if you have just thought of becoming a civil servant, it is one of the major questions that what are the news articles that you have to see and what are the things which you have to skip. Okay. So this is one of the major challenges for every aspirants who are just beginning the preparation. And there I would like you to tell about some of the free initiatives which we are doing at the website of KSG. We have one thing in the form of high feeds. High feed is one such thing which is free for all the aspirants. If you visit the KSG website, that is ksgindia.com, you will find that under the study material section, there is this high feed. And on daily basis, we give a list of the important articles which you have to cover from the newspapers. Two newspapers are the most preferred ones by the aspirants. Okay. One is The Hindu and the second one is Indian Express. Okay. These are the two newspapers which are relied by a number of experts, a number of selected candidates, a number of other aspirants also. Okay. So this is one of the major things that you have to understand, that you have to, like Sir was also telling this, you have to keep your sources limited. So even in the current affairs segment, if you have to choose, you can choose any one newspaper out of them. Now, many of the people are in this dilemma that whether I should go for The Hindu or Indian Express. I would suggest that pick any one of them, and that is more than sufficient. If you have taken one simple thing out of them, one simple newspaper, like let us say The Hindu, it is sufficient for you. Or if you have taken Indian Express, it is sufficient for you. What is more important to understand, that you have to go through the relevant articles. Nowadays, the newspapers have evolved way much better than what they were in 2016, 17, or even prior to that. After this, you can say, after this IT revolution that we are having, after all these contents which we are now having these days, the newspapers are also evolving. If you have gone through the newspapers, you might have seen we have got a number of explained section, text and context section in the newspapers. So they are very much relevant for you. Okay. Now, one more thing. The question is, if like I have told you that we give a list of the articles on daily basis, that what you have to read and what you don't have to read. But then again, the question comes to mind that how we can understand by ourselves that what will be the important themes of our current affairs. Now, for this, I will suggest two things. First is the syllabus of your examination, and the second is previous year questions. Okay. Syllabus and previous year questions are the magnetic compass for your preparation. You know, magnetic compass always points towards the north direction. Similarly, these two things, syllabus and the previous year questions, will always point you towards the right direction of your preparation. So this is one thing which you have to keep in mind. Whenever you have got some article or something, just see in your syllabus, is it connected somehow to any of the GS paper? Has there been any question on this trend in the past years? Okay. If you go about that, then you can automatically cover the current affairs. Okay. That is one part. Then the next thing is, we can start our preparation, but then there is one question, that how we can ensure that we are going in the right direction. How we can ensure that, how we can diagnose that we are moving in the right direction. And for this also, there is one simple thing which comes to your rescue. And that is again the previous year questions. Okay. You can do your diagnosis of your preparation. You can diagnose yourself by visiting the previous year questions of the prelims also and the mains also. Like let us say that you have started preparing like polity, and let us say you have studied the historical background of the constitution. Now, you would be able to understand whether you have actually covered it or not by simply going through the previous year questions. If you are able to solve the previous year questions on the basis of the historical background of the constitution, it means you have successfully completed it. If not, there is a need to revise more. And if you are seeing the previous year questions, you will also get the idea that what are the areas which you need to work upon. You will get the actual diagnosis of your preparation by visiting the previous year questions. So that is another dimension which you will have to ensure. Okay. Then one more question which we often get is, like, how many months of current affairs we have to prepare. Now there is no such official deadline or official what you can say notification by UPSC that we will ask you from these many months. But then if you look at the trends, if you look at the trends of the previous year, roughly around 18 months of current affair is one thing which is required for your preparation. Okay. If you are going about for 18 months, then it's not that all the questions would be coming from the same area, but then you can be sure about the majority of the questions. The majority of the questions are confined from these 18 months of current affairs. Okay. They are not going to ask you, like majority of the questions, what happened 5 years back. Okay. One or two questions may be there. There may be one question which, like suppose if you are going for examination in 2024, there can be one question which will be based on the current affairs in 2020. But then again, it would have been a major event, then only UPSC is asking about it. This is also you have to understand. Like suppose 2020, that was a COVID time. So if anything significant was there, UPSC might again ask a question from that year. Let us say vaccines were made. Okay. Now vaccines are something which have been made in 2021 and 2022. But then in 2024 also, UPSC can ask a question on the process of these vaccination, like how they are developed, what is the concept behind it. All these things can be asked, but it was such a significant thing. Vaccination in 2021 or 22 was significant thing. That's why the UPSC will ask it. Otherwise, it's not that any new bridge was constructed or any new thing happened and then UPSC is going to ask you. No. It has to be of such importance that UPSC will consider asking it. Okay. So that is one thing. Like how many current affairs you have to cover? Roughly 18 months. This is what you have to do. Okay. Then there is this one question, like I have asked you, one more question is from you also, that how to maintain your consistency. And I have got similar question, that how to stay motivated during the preparation. A lot of people, when they start preparing after 2 or 3 months, they feel that now they are not having the same level of energy. Okay. And that's why in the very beginning of this session, I asked you one question. What was your inspiration? What is your inspiration behind becoming a civil servant? If you have got the right inspiration, if you have got the right idea, if you have clarity over it, that why do you want to become a civil servant, you will never ask this question, that how to stay motivated during the preparation. Your idea, your inspiration, your dream should be so much clear that no matter whatever the hurdle is, no matter whatever the challenges are, you would always be hopeful that yes, you can overcome it. Okay. And like a very wise saying goes as, if someone has done it in the past, you can also do it. If no one has done it in the past, then you must do it. Okay. Like sir was telling today that the top rankers of the country, they have achieved this mark up to 52%. Okay. So you should be trying to get more marks than that. It is true that nowadays, like till date, we have got this 52% marks as the marks of the topper. But if no one has done it, then it's your responsibility to do it. You have to raise that bar. Okay. And since people have already done it in the past, yes, you should also be able to do it. And it's not that the people who have done it, they are coming from a very solid academic background. No. This is also one major concern of the people. Some of you might have gone through the IITs, IIMs and many other reputed institutions. And while some of you might have simply done graduation from open universities, but UPSC is not going to discriminate on this basis. UPSC is going to judge you, not your academic background. Okay. This is one key concept, this is one key idea which you have to keep in your mind. UPSC is judging you, not your academic background. Okay. And if you are clear that why you have to become a civil servant, you will never lose this consistency. You will never lose this motivation. Okay. And see, like now we have already talked for more than 45 minutes. I will be concluding the session very soon. But if you have any questions about the preparation, today we have talked about a lot of things at how to start this preparation, what is the nature of the examination, what sources you have to refer, the importance of NCERTs, the current affairs, the importance of the previous year questions, and also how we can stay motivated during the preparation, what we have to do for the current affairs and all these things. If you have got any question from these areas, we would be very much happy to answer that. I would be here, and if you have any question, then yes, we would be very much happy to help you. Okay. Now, before we come to this query section, I have a very important announcement for you. Like I told you in the beginning, that we are going to provide a question booklet of 2100 questions based on the NCERTs. Okay. So yes, you can download these booklets by filling the form which would be available in the description section of this video. Okay. In the description of this video, that link will be available and you can fill the form, and from there you can get this ebook of 2100 questions based on the NCERTs. And if you are solving them, I am very much sure that you will get a lot of confidence. Okay. One more announcement. I was in the beginning, I told you that KSG has completed 15 years, and on this eve, we are coming with a very special offer just for today. Those who are attending the webinar today, we have a very special offer for you. We are going to start with a NCERT special batch from 3rd of April. That is our NEEV course, NCERTs for Early and Effective Victory. Okay. So that is going to start from 3rd of April in online mode. Okay, and for that the fee is something around 12,500, but on completion of 15 years of KSG, we are giving it at a discount of 50%, 50% means we are giving it at half the price. And for this, you can contact our team at this number. I will give you the number for this. Till then, if you have any question, thank you. And yes, you all are a part of our family, so it's congratulations to you also. Okay, the number would be 95 and when you call or message on this number, just give this coupon code to them, KSG15. Okay, and the batch is going to start from 3rd of April. So yes, you can message on this number, and from there you can claim your 50% discount on the NEEV course. Okay, the 2100 question booklet would also be there in the description link. The form would be there, you can get it from there. And yes, some questions are there. Is there any book of previous year questions given by KSG? See, we have not just a book of previous year questions, we have a booklet in the form of KSG 10,000, and that is a compilation of 10,000 questions for practice. Okay, the first part of this KSG 10,000 booklet is going to be released in the next week, and yes, you can get it. Okay, so KSG 10,000 is a series of ebook of 10,000 questions for practice. It consists of the previous year questions also and questions on the same pattern for practice as well. Okay, so yes, we have got this one booklet. Okay, we have also got one booklet for mains also, mains practice question, which is available on our website also. Okay, then yes, there is this one question which I have answered, that how we can maintain the consistency. See, again, the same answer would be there, that if you are able to get your inspiration, if you are able to get this clarity that why you are going for the civil services, you will never ask anyone about this, that how you can stay motivated, how you can maintain the consistency. Whenever you have a doubt in your mind, just turn back and ask yourself why you decided to start this preparation, why you decided to become a civil servant. If you have got the clarity of this idea, then you will never ask this question again. Okay. Source for UPSC. Yes, like I told you, there are a number of booklets which are there. NCERTs being the foundation stone, the current affairs, you can visit, like you can simply go through this Hindu newspaper or Indian Express newspaper. Even on our website, we have this monthly magazine in the form of Current Connect, which is a thorough analysis of the important themes of the previous months. Okay, so that is also something which you can download, and in that magazine you will find that there is a lot of forward and backward linkage of the topic with the syllabus and the related concepts. So that is also one thing which you can go for. Okay, how many times we have to read NCERT books? Till the time you get the confidence that you can now solve the previous year questions, you can now solve any questions on the basis of that concept. Okay, so there is no fixed number of times, but at least try to do this thing. See, it is going to vary according to the person to person. Let us say that some of you have modern history or simply history as your graduation subject. So in the history segment, you will be able to understand the topics in just one reading or two. Okay, maybe you won't even need reading the NCERTs for that. But then those who have background in, let us say, biotech, they won't be able to understand each and everything in just one reading of the NCERTs. Okay, they may require multiple such readings. Okay, so there is no such one fixed number, But then there is one simple thing. If you are able to solve the questions on the basis of those concepts, your work is done. Now you have to just revise it time and again, so that you can maintain that level. You can always be like, all these things, all this concept would always be in your mind. That is one thing which you can do. Okay. So I think please help some toppers seminar. See, we have got a number of videos on our YouTube channel. If you just go through the video section of our KSG YouTube channel, you will find that there are a number of such videos from the toppers, that what have been their strategy, what methods they have chosen in order to clear the examination. Okay. So I would suggest you just go through that playlist and you will find a number of interesting ideas, a number of interesting suggestions. Okay. Yes, for getting this 2100 NCERT previous year questions, you have to just in this video description itself, you will find that there is a option to register. Click here. Just go through that link, and you will also get, like, if you have any query, you can also message on this number as well. Okay, or you can simply fill that form, and from there the ebook will be sent to you. Okay, so that a form has to be filled, and from there you will get the ebook mailed to you. Okay, or it would be sent over your WhatsApp. Okay, any other question which you would like to ask? Okay, so I hope I have answered all your questions, and I wish you all the best. Just keep this thing in mind. Like sir has also told us that what you have to do, you have to manage your time effectively. You have to get the right guidance. You have to find that clarity that why you want to become the civil servant. And whenever you get some doubt, you have to always keep in mind why you have started this thing. If you remember that simple concept, that why you have started this preparation, there is nothing stopping you. Okay. And at the end of this, I would say just one thing. The secret of getting ahead is to getting started. Okay. If you have started your preparation, you will get ahead. Okay. So the secret of getting ahead is getting started. Just keep that thing in mind, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.